In this video, we're going to turn a collection of daily updates into a clear daily report. It will include proposed priorities, evidence for every suggested action, and visible flags wherever a person needs to decide. No coding, no enterprise systems. Just an AI assistant your organization allows, prepared instructions, and fictional sample data. What we're building is not an autonomous employee. It is a reusable AI-assisted workflow, with you still in control. Let's build it. Open the AI assistant you are allowed to use. For this demonstration, we are using fictional updates, not real company or customer information. Before using a workflow at work, follow your organization ORS rules for approved tools and approved data. Start with the job. Instead of saying, summarize these updates, give the assistant a clear role and goal. You are a daily operations report assistant. Your goal is to convert the raw daily updates I provide into a concise management report for human review. That tells the AI what it is helping with and reminds us that the report is still subject to human review. Next, set the boundaries. Tell it to use only the information in the updates and not to invent missing facts. This does not guarantee accuracy. It makes the expected boundary clear. You must still compare the report with the original updates. Then tell it to separate stated facts, reasonable suggestions, and anything that still needs human confirmation. That makes uncertainty easier to see instead of allowing it to hide inside confident language. Now define the output. We are not asking for a vague summary. We are specifying the report we want. Executive summary, key updates, critical issues, proposed action items, suggested recommendations, and questions for human review. For every proposed action, ask the AI to identify the update that supports it. That creates a traceability aid that the reviewer must verify. And make the decision boundary explicit. Do not present a suggestion as an approved decision. Now give it the context. This is the information it needs to do the job. Here are 5 fictional daily updates. Customer service received 42 requests, mostly about billing clarification. 2 complaints require manager attention. The field team completed 8 of 10 scheduled visits. Internet connectivity slowed reporting during the afternoon. And finance needs confirmation before processing pending invoices. Generate the report. Do not stop when the report appears. Compare it with the original updates. Ask 3 questions. What came directly from the source? What is a suggestion? And what still requires a human decision? If the report adds an unsupported owner, deadline, cause, or approval, correct the instructions and run the test again. That review habit matters more than how confident the output sounds. You have just applied the DotCHAI workflow framework. Goal, context, tools, output, guardrails, feedback. The goal defined the job. The context supplied the source information. The tool was the approved AI assistant. The output described the report. The guardrails set boundaries around facts, uncertainty, and decisions. And feedback begins when you inspect the result, record what failed, improve the instructions, and test again. That final step turns a one-time prompt into a workflow you can improve and reuse. Now let's make the report easier to review. Ask the assistant to assign each issue a proposed priority of high, medium, or low. These are DotCHAI starting criteria, not universal rules. High means the issue could significantly affect customers, safety, compliance, finances, or time-sensitive operations. Medium means it needs action, but is not immediately critical. Low means it is routine or informational. For every priority, require the supporting evidence, a possible next action, and the type of role that should review it. Do not ask the AI to invent a manager, deadline, policy, or approval. And label every priority as a recommendation requiring human confirmation. The AI is helping someone review the situation. It is not approving the decision. Now complete the feedback step properly. Test the workflow with another fictional example. Compare the report with the source. Record anything that was missing, unsupported, unclear, or badly prioritized. Revise the instructions. Then test again. Keep the change only if it performs better against defined evaluation criteria using representative examples. That is feedback. It means using evidence from the result to improve the workflow instead of simply asking for more output. Now, the terminology is easier to understand because you've seen the system working. A basic conversational AI assistant typically responds when prompted, while some products described as assistants may also use tools, automation, or other capabilities. An AI workflow follows a repeatable process. That is what we built today. An AI agent can pursue a goal with more freedom to choose steps and may use tools or take actions within defined permissions. Platforms do not always use the term in exactly the same way. AI employee is not standardized in the authoritative sources reviewed. DotCHAI uses it as a teaching metaphor for a well-defined AI-assisted workflow. It is not a person or an accountable employee. Responsibility remains with the people and organizations using the system. Good beginner workflows tend to be repetitive, text-based, clearly defined, relatively low risk, and easy to review. Meeting summaries. Daily reports. Document summaries. Frequently asked questions. Task lists. And first drafts that a person checks before using or sending. The pattern is simple. AI prepares. A person confirms where confirmation is required. Be more cautious with legal, medical, disciplinary, employment, financial, cybersecurity, or payment decisions. AI may help organize, summarize, or draft where permitted, but qualified people and responsible organizations must retain appropriate oversight. Start where mistakes are easy to detect. Test carefully. Expand only when the evidence and controls justify it. AI can be wrong even when it sounds confident. Check important outputs against the source before relying on them. Do not paste confidential information, customer records, credentials, or sensitive data into a system that is not approved to handle it. Paying for a tool does not automatically make it suitable for every type of data. A chatbot that only drafts text has limited reach. A system that can read email, access documents, or take actions has more power and more risk. Connected systems also need protection against prompt injection. This means malicious or misleading instructions hidden in content the AI is asked to process. Give the system only the access its job requires. A reporting assistant should not receive permission to delete records or send external messages unless that capability is genuinely necessary and separately controlled. Drafting a report is not the same as sending it. Suggesting a decision is not the same as approving it. For consequential actions, or whenever policy requires it, add an explicit human approval step before the action occurs. A workflow that worked once is not finished. Models change. Processes change. Instructions change. Review the workflow regularly and use documented failures to improve it. Governance, in practical terms, means deciding where AI is appropriate, who remains responsible, and how problems will be detected and corrected. So, can you build a useful first AI employee workflow without starting with a full enterprise rollout? Yes, if we use that phrase carefully. What you built today is a reusable, single-purpose AI-assisted workflow, not an autonomous employee or a complete enterprise agent. You gave it a goal, context, an approved tool, a defined output, guardrails, and a feedback process. Test it with fictional examples first. Compare every important claim with the source. Improve the instructions when the evidence shows a problem, and keep people responsible for consequential decisions. That is how AI earns trust, not through confident language, but through a workflow people can inspect, test, and improve. Use the prompt shown in this video with fictional sample updates first. Inspect the result, improve the instructions, and adapt it carefully to an approved use case. Subscribe to DotCHAI. Every week, we build practical AI workflows and show you how to verify them. Which workflow should we build next? A meeting assistant, customer response assistant, IT help desk assistant, or personal productivity assistant? Leave your choice in the comments. Your suggestion may become the next hands-on build. Until then, keep building smarter workflows, one step at a time.